We were doing a bit before we started recording that. It's just Norm Macdonald in the Metamorphosis.
Yeah. Oh, God, I'm a bug.
I'm a fucking giant bug.
Jesus.
At least I got this cool bug cock.
Yeah, what's the deal with these 6 legs, huh? You know? Tell you what.
Something's really bugging me this morning.
So I get that hot sister over here throwing apple at my ass, huh? That's in the Metamorphosis.
Oh, is it?
His dad throws an apple at him, and it embeds in his bug.
I got a regular poetry professor over here. Yeah. And this guy, I was talking to Ben the other day. He actually told me he went like, I guess he got 6 million. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, you seen that movie, Ants? It's Woody Allen is an ant, and then he fucks this little baby Chinese ant that was his daughter.
Mm-hmm. Hey, remember the movie Bees?
A bee movie?
Yeah. It's a guy who's trying to fuck a full-grown lady. You know? Really got
I woke up as a bug. Too bad my old lady's an exterminator.
It could have been worse. I could have woke up from frightful dreams to realize I was Adam Egget. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, if I look down, though, my cock's about the same size.
And the thing they don't tell you about a bug cock is it's not good.
Yeah, it's gross.
Did I ever tell you guys a story? You guys know the great Scott Blacks, right?
Of course,
the writer for Norm Macdonald.
Writes for a lot of Norm's jokes, yeah.
Our very
on the
own
show.
Scott Blacks.
On the show, yeah.
Scott is actually a friend of ours. I wonder what he's doing these days.
Shove him on the show.
He's probably dead by now.
By the way, Crick and them guys want to... Crick and Nick want to do a crossover with Coward Hour.
Tell them to stop freeloading off of our wide fan base.
Yeah. Bastards.
There are very few podcasts I'd consider doing a crossover with right now. Sam Harris is one of them.
Of course.
I'd consider it.
Really?
We would do the Fighter and the Kid crossover now. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't do it a month ago, but now I'll do it.
Yeah, I want to do gosh dang it, what's that guy? He's brilliant. He's really nice to girls.
Keith and the Girl?
No. Chris D'Elia. we should get him on. We'll call it Congratulations, You're a Sex Offender.
Is pedophilia that bad?
Let's break it down.
Okay,
honestly.
let's
get into it.
Let's get into it, folks. Right after this.
4 hours later, we have to delete the podcast.
Nervousness will unleash, typically about an imminent event or something with an uncertain outcome.
If this gonna be that kind of party, I'm gonna stick my dick in the mashed potato. Oh God! They're gonna know I'm dumb.
Welcome to Brain Jail, y'all. Hey, I got big juicy titties. Yeah, I'm a girl. I'm Satan and I'm a girl. Hey, I want to get my titties sucked.
Oh, damn.
Because I got gender reassignment surgery down here in hell. Hey, I got a pussy now and I want to get fucked in it. I want some gross Craigslist guy to fuck me in my van. I want to get fucked in the van, get cum all up in my pussy, which is all wet. Shit, because it's a girl's pussy.
I like the idea of Satan trying to get fucked in hell, but nobody will fuck him.
Well, all right, who wants to fuck Satan, y'all? I got a fresh pussy. I got some new titties for y'all.
But everybody's still being polite about it. They're like, you know what? I just fucked.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah, they're very...
Who wants to get fucked though? You can fuck me in my pussy. I got a pussy now.
Saying I think I'm late to get my balls hit with a hammer.
All right, that's cool. But anybody else want to fuck? Who wants to fuck old Satan?
I feel like I'm obligated to fuck Satan. I don't want to look like a bad guy here in hell.
Come on, baby. I got a nice meat pie for you right here. It's nice and warm, baby.
I'll do it. Jesus. Here we go.
Baby. You want Satan's beaver? You want to lick Satan's beaver, huh?
It's so rough.
They made me a clit down there and everything.
Oh, gross. Well, welcome to Brain Jail. That's the voice of woke Satan there. He's very woke, but he also is the devil himself. But we like him.
He's a girl now.
Yeah, he's a girl.
Yeah, dang it. I'm so sorry.
Oh, she's a girl.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Piece of shit. Well, I'm Kevin Ting, and that's Benjamin Allen Avery and his brother, his big bro, Jace Wayne Avery.
Hey.
Jace does the drawings, Ben does the fucking, and I do the commentary.
Mm-hmm. I also do the sucking.
Yeah,
I only suck. I won't fuck.
I'll suck you off, but you gotta fuck him.
I have a business card that says Jace Avery only sucks.
No fuck.
No fucks.
Well, welcome to Brain Jail, a podcast of three ex-church-obsessed boys who used to get on stage and tell everybody, that the Lord was there for them and that he died on a cross for your sins so you don't have to be perfect, and grace and forgiveness and all that stuff. And then lost all hope, and
had to unlearn something.
Yeah, had to unlearn something. Still haven't unlearned how to basically feel bad all the time. And that's
you know what? I think I basically
still,
escaped it.
Yeah, well, fuck you then.
I've got 8 hours of sleep for 2 days in a row, and depression isn't real anymore.
Oh, gosh. Well, if you're suffering with depression, send us an email at brainjailpod@gmail.com.
Yeah. Stop being gay.
Yeah, stop being gay. If you like the podcast, if you feel like I got to give back to these boys, you can throw us $5 a month over at our OnlyFans, and you can watch a couple of exclusive episodes over there, and we'll be posting some just random pictures and shit over there. Didn't want to take away some of the brilliant audio from our main audience because the big chunk of our audience did not go to OnlyFans. They decided, no, I'm just going to keep listening for free, which is is just fine.
We're not bitter.
I'm not pissed off at you. I don't want to fucking end my life. I didn't, practice making nooses and Boy Scouts for any particular reason. And I just wanted to get my rope badge. You know what I mean? My rope tying badge.
I just wanted some extra money for Chunkies.
Yeah.
I wanted to buy a big box of Chunkies off this candy website. Because you can't find a Chunky anywhere in town.
When Ben
these
says
days.
Chunkies, he's referring to an overweight child.
Before COVID, you could find a Chunky just about in any store.
You could buy a
They've
Chunky on the
slowed
street.
distribution.
Yeah. You could go to one of those Mexican fruit vendors, ask him for a Chunky. He'd just pull one out of his pocket.
Yeah.
It'd be all hot and melted, but you could still eat it.
This isn't racist because it's a fact.
Yeah, just
every Mexican has a Chunky
just
bar in his pocket.
tear a little bit of the corner
Or
and
her
squeeze the chocolate and peanuts into your mouth. Like
That's
a
right.
fresh dog shit.
Well, if you want to send us an email, send it to brainjailpod@gmail.com and go over to iTunes, leave us a 5-star review. That is totally free to do. It takes a very short amount of time. It's a way for you to express your creativity and, that you're also an idiot, which we need to know because we feel alone, in this world. Ben just sits around in his homemade tie-dye shirts that he, gets for $60 or whatever and grows his mustache out, tries to not look at child pornography, keeps signing up for the DSA and then backing out.
I'm
at the last
actively
moment.
trying not to look at child pornography.
You're like going to meetings.
I'm smoking cigarettes
Yeah.
and walking in a circle in my backyard.
You're doing the 12 steps. Yeah.
It's written on your mirror. Don't look at child pornography. It's on your. It's a tattoo like in Memento, but in reverse on your chest.
Yeah.
You're going to everybody you've ever wronged in your life and you're apologizing, but also having to explain. You're like, listen, I was addicted to child pornography. I'm going to AA. I'm on the 8th step. I'm sorry that I stole your child and fucked him.
I like the
But
idea.
this is I need you to forgive me so I can be, a better person from
Is
now on.
pedophilia that bad?
I want to do this bit. I mean, because the funny part is me going, no, it's great, and then the real part is me going, hey, I got kids, don't. And then, but
Some kids. It depends on the kid's life.
If the kid has like big juicy tits.
I don't know. I just think everything. Kevin always says we need to look at the individual, so we can't just make a blanket statement saying all child molestation.
Well, there is a real thing. I think we've talked about this before. There is a thing in the.
I have so many points to make.
I'm looking at
and
the
yet
individual,
I can't
Kevin.
make them because then I'm
What?
I'm like, a lot of good things come out of pain. It's you got to look on the bright side. But it's it's not good.
But there is a thing in the gay community, for example, that's like an older man will usually help a younger gay man who's sometimes underage kind of come out of the closet. He sucks his dick. And
I'm helping Timmy out of the closet.
Like call me by your name or something like that. Like the kid in that is fucking 11 years old, and then Armie Hammer plays a 55-year-old man.
Yeah,
and I think that's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
I think it's a beautiful experience.
Officer, I was helping him discover his homosexuality.
Oh, that's your version of an officer and a gentleman?
No, the
end of the movie is Richard Gere's walking into a sweatshop and picking up a little 11-year-old boy and then carrying him out.
It's an old man who gets caught molesting a 10-year-old, and then he goes, I was just trying to help him discover himself. And officer, you're being homophobic. It's not your fault. You don't understand. Many times as a gay man, what I will do is I will go and find a young boy and I'll touch his ding dong to help him.
The cop's taking notes in his little pad.
Right.
Yeah. I'm helping him.
Anytime I'm getting arrested for fucking an underage kid, I go ACAB, fucker, pig, fuck cops.
Yeah,
fuck them.
Dude.
Never forget.
Yeah, I'm an Antifa and I'm a pedophile.
Yeah, the Antifa pedophile. Yeah,
which Kyle Rittenhouse did. One of the guys he shot in the head was a pedophile.
Which is not a fact you shouldn't necessarily be saying out loud to a lot of people.
Is it? Was
that
it?
He's a pedophile?
Well, I mean, it seems like a weird justification if you say
it's only
it out
a justification if it was motive.
Supposedly, the guy with the skateboard was like a scumbag too.
Oh, okay. Well, he deserved to get shot in the head.
Well, no, that guy got shot in the abdomen and died.
Oh, okay.
Did
Well,
he
he
have a
deserved that
six-pack?
too.
What?
Why am I doing riffs on this? It's too serious.
All right, let's change the subject from
I'm riffing.
Rittenhouse.
I go,
Did you have a six-pack? Did you got shot in the abdomen?
Let's change.
Did you have a six-pack?
Look, we don't have to talk about this hero who shot a pedophile on the streets. We don't have to talk about this brave young boy who was just demanding justice.
Was it motive?
No. It was like, I think it was he. Well, first off, he went from a state over to.
If he was molested by the guy,
Kyle Rittenhouse?
yes, then I would be
I
like,
smell a sitcom.
The Odd Couple. He's a gay man in Antifa who's a pedophile. He's a 16-year-old boy who wants to shoot black people.
Here's
So he walks into an environment with a gun, maybe hoping something happens.
Yeah, he drew a line in the sand,
Right.
and a pedophile walked across it.
He drew a line in the sand and then another line and then 4 more lines, and you look down and it's a swastika that he drew.
That's right.
That's right.
But let's change the subject because this is a hot button issue. I even got in trouble by one of our listeners for making a joke about the guy getting shot by a pedophile.
Sure, good.
He was like, "I hope you're not defending that kid." I'm like, everyone's retarded. Like most people are.
I know,
just
but
retards.
when you say the guy that Kyle Rittenhouse shot was a pedophile, I don't even understand what you're trying to make. Because it only comes off as like, hey, maybe he was justified.
It's what if you found out that on Flight 93 everyone was a pedophile? You'd go, it's bad that it crashed, but like it, like maybe like
So
the
you
whole
think
let's roll and everything. It's like I don't know. ISIS and Al Qaeda is bad,
right?
But everyone on Flight 93 was a child molester,
right?
So it's like I don't know. Was this a God thing? Maybe like was Kyle Rittenhouse a channel for the Lord?
You're giving your testimony in front of the baptismal pool.
And here's the thing: you're dying.
9/11.
You're dying on a hill that's so small it's not even a hill anymore.
Yeah, it's an island.
It's four rocks.
You're
that
dying,
you're dying on top
in a shallow grave.
So let's change the subject because people get pretty upset if you talk about pedophiles getting shot in the head for some reason.
Let's change the subject.
Hey man, you better not think it's good. A pedophile guy. Look, I thought it was funny a pedophile got his head blown off by a little kid wearing Crocs who loves cops.
Hey,
It is funny that he was wearing.
Paper.
It is funny that he was wearing Crocs.
He's like a total fucking chud.
Do you have your bachelor's degree in changing the subject? Because you're good.
Okay, here's what I wanted.
You're good at this.
Here's what I wanted to ask you guys, and I thought this would be a fun game to play.
4 inches.
Okay.
But go on.
What celebrities do you think do anal? And I'm talking about straight celebrities here. I got the perfect answer for this. I fucking know. I have one locked in.
Okay. I think I have a good one too.
Let's bring in Beetlejuice and see what he thinks.
From the Howard Stern
Dude,
show?
Yes.
Number one at the top of the list.
you, man.
Like I put $1 million on this. Paula Deen only does anal.
Only does anal.
Only does anal.
Hi, y'all.
Does a lot of anal.
Right, but that's because she's too fat to reach her pussy.
My baby's done fluffed up my pussy, so you got to put it in the back door, pumpkin. Sorry.
Dude, you know she gets like just fucked raw in the ass.
Oh, yeah.
In the later years.
Sure, yeah.
This is what you're changing this subject
What?
to. Who gets fucked in the ass?
Yeah, Paula Deen.
I will turn it on you, Ben. Have you ever done the old backdoor action, huh?
On my own ass?
Yeah.
I've got fucked in the ass a couple times.
Jace?
Have I ever got fucked in the ass?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, many times.
Huh.
Yeah.
I am still I
You've
put a
never
little
been
veil
fucked in the ass?
I wear a veil over my little asshole. It's still pure. You know, it's and someday if the right guy comes along,
like a nun's thing?
That will
well,
be
like
a nun?
like on a wedding. Like I'll have my father come and like the guy will be there and my dad will lift the veil.
He's
and
walking your
then
asshole down the aisle.
He'll kiss me on the side of the left cheek, you know? And then he'll be like, be good to him. Treat him special.
And then a guy will step on a piece of glass and then start fucking you in the ass.
Gosh, I love this style of humor so much. It's great.
That will be the new...
You shit the ring out of your ass
Yeah.
and then put it on your wife's finger.
That's right. No, I put it on my own cock. You have to wear a cock ring if that's what's happening.
Do you know some guys can put their cock up their own ass?
Yeah, probably. Most. Yeah, I can.
Some guys can
yeah.
bend their cock upside down and twist it around and shove it up their ass.
Yeah. You guys ever?
Which is kind of like the perfect setup.
When you guys,
the perfect crime.
if you have an erection, do you guys ever just see how far you can bend it to either side?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
I
Yeah.
just try to really stretch it out, you know, really pull on it. See
Kevin,
if
which
I can bust it in half.
does yours? Mine curves like a gopher's tooth, where it like
You
I'm
mean a
not
beaver?
familiar
Like
with
if I-
beaver's
beaver's
tooth.
a beaver's tooth. Yeah.
Mine
Where
looks
if I
like
wasn't
a beaver's
careful, my
tail.
dick would grow into the side of my leg.
Right.
I
If
have
you
to be
stopped
careful.
getting pussy, your dick would grow into your own brain. Yeah. Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a buddy in college he had a huge hook on that thing, man. It looked like a hockey stick.
You guys called him Captain Hook, right?
Yeah, oh, that's right. I told you guys.
Because he was also in the Navy.
No, he wishes. You put that thing to use. Tie some big, I don't know, naval rope around it. Or something.
Naval rope.
Yeah, use it to when they dock. You know,
Right.
like those the huge aircraft carriers.
Like
he
the
just,
width of a man's arm.
They'd
yeah.
have they'd strap him down to a table and then just throw his cock onto land, and then the people would start. They'd wrap it around with their special Navy, and then you know they crank it out, and then I'd be like, "Chief, we all done here? We all done here? Can I unwrap my cock from the dock?"
You think only gay guys would be in the Navy? Because if I was a gay guy and I heard about the Navy, if I was a gay guy and I heard about the Navy, I'd be like, I love my country. You know what I mean? I'd be like, God bless the flag.
Honey, you're telling me I'm 20,000 leagues under the sea trapped with 20 men? I'd pay you to do it.
I feel like you should play the song in the Navy.
Honey, you just sunk my battleship. I'm like, Sergeant, why are you sticking your dick up your own ass? It's the perfect crime. The perfect crime. There's no victims. I get fucked in the ass, and also I get to fuck an ass. Crisscross. Crisscross. Strangers on a train.
Yeah.
Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to suck your dick, and then you suck mine, and then we both come. Crisscross. Crisscross.
Scratch, neighbor. You scratch mine.
Throw
I'll scratch yours.
pussy from a train.
Yeah, throw pussy from the train.
Yeah, they throw all the women off the train and have gay sex with all the men.
Yeah, the stranger on a train. It's where you send your hand and jerk off on.
Oh, I didn't tell you guys. Disney's actually looking to pick us up.
Because we're so anti-Jewish on the podcast.
Yes.
They heard Ben's rants and they're like, "You're perfect."
these are the kind of guys we want to have their heads in jars, and we need to study this, and we want your podcast.
Yeah. Isn't it funny Walt Disney's head is cut off and frozen somewhere?
It is weird.
His weird 1940s head with the stupid mustache on it.
Yeah, but he's the one who's going to be walking around with robot legs or whatever, you know.
Yeah, potentially.
And who's laughing then through their robot voice box?
You think he got his cock frozen too?
No. I know that
They
for
do.
sure.
They do cut your cock off. Yeah,
Is that true?
and they eat it. Yeah, it's a real thing that they do.
It's all in the folder about cryo.
Yeah, cryogenics. Yeah,
Cryogenics.
yes, sir.
If Ben would probably be more into gyogenics. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bitch.
Yeah, because you're gay.
Yeah, fuck you, bitch.
Gyogenics?
Yeah, because it's about guys.
So I just get frozen in a bunch of cum?
Yes.
That I'm down for.
It would
Yeah.
be funny if you sunk millions and millions of dollars into research, and they're like, you're like, I don't understand. And they're like, well, I noticed that all your samples here are actually frozen in cum. Is there any reason for that? You're like, it has to be in cum. It has to be. They're like, well, maybe you could just change it. Like, get the fuck out of my office. Get out of my laboratory right now.
Sir, this is a P.F. Chang's kitchen that you work at.
By the way, did you guys listen to the episode we did last week?
No, I didn't.
I did a lot of editing. I edited a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we had to edit some names out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't edit out. I just morphed them.
Did you know what P.F. Chang stands for?
Penis fart.
Yeah, that's literally what I was going to say. Penis fart Chang.
I thought it was pussy fucker.
Pussy fucker Chang. Yeah, that was my. That was
welcome to Pussy Fucker Chang.
yeah the number one pimp in all of Japan.
Ba o boot.
Man, I'd love to go to a hibachi grill.
I would
And-
love a hibachi grill
And
right
just,
now.
it's just a Japanese guy with a big chef's hat on. He's completely naked. And he's just like fucking just smoking weed, you know?
I think you just want to go to a Chinese drug dealer's house.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait till this COVID stuff over so I can go to one of those hibachi grills and sneeze on it. You know what I mean? Be like, thank God COVID's over. Am I right, folks?
He's flipping up the shrimp and my wife's catching it in her pussy.
Yes. Yep. That's
Yep,
right.
that's right.
Yep.
That's
Everything
gotta-
is pussy.
It's got to be the way to go. It's got to be it.
Yeah. I do remember when I was a kid. Ben will remember this story too. We were in New York and we were with our rich relatives and we're like these country bumpkins.
Yeah.
And we go to the Benihana in
First time I had sushi in my life.
Yeah, first time we had sushi, we go to the Benihana in New York. I'm like 12.
Benny, what?
Benihana.
I thought this was the height of I thought this was the pinnacle.
It
of,
is funny because like
luxury.
in my head I was like I'm like on the lifestyles
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
rich because I saw a picture of Shaq on the wall. I'm like, this is the pinnacle, and it's like it's one step above going to the Olive Garden in Times Square.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
I was like, me and the kids, we went to Bubba Gump Shrimp Company.
Is Robert Leach in here somewhere? Wow.
So we're embarrassed already because we're so poor and like not classy at all. And
Guys,
then we're
you're
in the
sewing
Yeah.
patches into each other's knees as you go in.
right.
I mean, we're probably wearing shoes that don't match and shit. Like we were really fucking bad.
We were dressed
and
up nice,
shitty.
which means we were dressed like Jerry Seinfeld in 1993.
Yeah.
That was our version of like church clothes.
Got to do it. No belt,
No belt, jeans,
tucked into jeans.
and then sneakers from the comic strip Zits,
Got to have it.
if that makes sense for anybody.
That's a deep pull.
And our
Deep
hair
cut.
is combed, but somehow it looks worse.
yeah, it looks- we combed it unkempt somehow.
The line, your part line is like a zigzag for
Yeah.
some reason because your dad barely was paying attention when he was combing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
your
one
hair
time-
has all the marks from where your dad hit you while he was trying to comb your hair.
When the Averys pretended to be human beings.
Right. And so we're at the fucking Benihana grill and he's like frying the shit up and I'm like amazed. I'm like, man, I can't wait to move to New York City when I'm a boy and I'll eat here every single day of my life. Oh boy. Oh boy. Like hayseed falls onto the grill and starts burning.
Good golly, only the rich folks eat with sticks.
And so the guy's cooking and then he turns around and then I reach for like a fucking like my Shirley Temple. Like this huge Shirley Temples they serve at Benihana's. Like it's in
Yeah,
a big
yeah.
gulp cup.
Oh,
and
I forgot about this
I
shit.
knock the entire Shirley Temple directly onto the hot grill.
Oh my God.
And it's smoke everywhere.
Steaming, yeah,
And
yeah.
then literally, I'm not kidding, the Japanese guy goes, "Oh my ass!"
Oh, my ass?
he yelled, "Oh my ass!" Because the steam, like, he was turning around, the steam, like, went directly into his ass, and I, like, burned the shit out of him. And I was so embarrassed. And our uncle, who's, like, the nicest guy, but he's, like, you know, he's well-to-do. He's like, hey, it's totally fine. It's just a kid made a mistake. And my mom's like, I'm literally going to hit you with a knife. When I get home tonight.
Your mom's like, grill up one of his fingers. Come on now, do it. Chop it up fun, too.
Our mom would do the thing where she would just apologize for that event for maybe 4 days after that.
For you?
Yeah, for me. It would be like 3 days later, we'd be like having a nice time on the beach. And she'd be like, you know, I'm just sorry once again, Jace dropped the Shirley Temple on the grill.
Man. I just want to say I'm sorry
and my
that
dad's
happened.
beating the shit out of us.
Yeah.
Dude, that is so
I remember
fucked up.
specifically on one of those vacations, we'd always go to the Northeast to visit my rich relatives, and we're at a place in Delaware. They rented a beach house, and my mom fried up some, and I'm like a little fat 12-year-old kid. My mom had fried up some tortilla meat for them to all make tortillas, and she used to always make
tortilla meat?
Sorry, fucking, god damn it. Like, what do you put in, like, Mexican pile on? Just like she fried up some meat. You know what I mean?
Some beef.
So she always made
carne asada.
Yeah, like carne asada.
Yeah,
and
let
she
me
always
paint the picture for you, Kevin. All four of us, me, Cole, Ellen, and Jace, we look like the four monkeys from Super Monkey Ball. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
You don't know the monkeys from Monkey Ball?
No.
Oh, you can't pull it up. We can't watch a clip of Monkey Ball on the podcast.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm requiring you guys to get references that happened while you were 5.
We look like just little fucked up monkey children.
Yeah,
basically.
I would have played that game when it came out.
So, Kevin, Cole was the little baby monkey. I was AA. Jace was the gorilla monkey, and Ellen was the shitty lady monkey.
The lady monkey who's wearing a dress.
Okay.
Which implies
All
that
of
she
us.
has a pussy, I guess, in the universe. But nobody else does.
Yeah,
Nobody has
well,
a
she's
dick.
got her top off.
Right, but she's topless, yeah.
That was got to be.
Yeah, so I was AA.
No bottomless.
And so anyway, my mom had fried up. I didn't know that we didn't have a lot of meat left. Like, it was barely enough to feed everybody.
Yeah.
And then she just put like a bowl of it on the counter.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh, shit, I'm hungry. And my mom made Mexican pile on all the time. So she would just pile a bunch of meat into bowls. So I thought it was that.
Yeah.
And I put a little cheese and some corn on. And I just start eating it. And then I'm like 3/4 of the way done. And my mom comes in. She's like, that meat was for everyone. And I'm like, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like a little fat kid, it's like the most embarrassing thing. You ate everybody's food. And it was embarrassing enough. We had to go get more food. But then she brought it up, I swear to God, for years after that.
Yeah.
Like it would be like just middle of the day, absolutely. And she's like, I'm just so sorry, Jace, I ate all that meat.
What's your mom's name? What's her social security number?
I don't want to say.
Dude, that is so that's kind of shit. It's like, and also I totally get your mom's neuroticism to feel like she needs to apologize.
Like she needs to
She
apologize.
feels bad.
But
So
little does she know, I'm like literally like 3 months away from becoming anorexic because of that.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You're like, hey, y'all, I'm going to fuck up my child mentally, scar him for life real quick, because I just feel so shitty about him Shirley Temple right on the grill.
Right. And that's really the magic of childhood, is that your mom just being anxious can cause 8 years of eating disorders.
Yeah.
Like into your like early 20s.
Jesus Christ.
And I became a sociopath.
Yeah, Ben realized that nothing matters, including the way you interact with humans.
There was one time. There was one time during the New Zealand Christchurch shooting.
I'm so sorry, y'all. My son dropped a Shirley Temple right in the grill, Benihana. Jesus Christ, it's like $12 the plate. Fuck. And then I got old stupid face over here. He keeps telling everyone's gay. Pretty sure he's not gay. He might be gay, though. I cry a lot, y'all. I cry every night. I can't stop crying. I don't know why, y'all, but I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. I hope that was a good impression of your mom.
No, that's literally her. And then fast forward 10 years, I'm watching Ben on the couch watching the live stream of the New Zealand Christchurch shooting.
Yes.
And just giggling to himself.
I was not giggling.
You were not giggling.
You're not giggling.
I will defend Ben for the first time in my life.
Thank you.
Actually, 20.
But
I was not giggling.
But there was
60 people.
But there was no part. There was not an iota of a frown on your face while you were watching it.
It was interesting to watch.
No, I can quote
was like a
exactly
video
what
game.
Ben was doing. He had all of his tips of his fingers together, and then he would slowly flutter them so that they would, like a butterfly, and then he said, and I quote, "Mwah, mwah." and it was pretty scary.
That guy's not going to get the death
And
penalty,
then
by the way.
Ben immediately.
What?
Yeah, and he shot 70
Well, it's in
people
New
and
Zealand.
killed
They don't
them.
do the death penalty.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they just make you eat a bunch of kiwi.
They're going to give
Till
him a
you
place
throw
to
up.
stay. They're like, you're bad forever. You never have to work.
He only got 12 years per person that he killed.
Right. Well, I mean, he did kill like 20 people.
No, he killed like 70 people.
Right. And you Googled all 70 of those people's names, and then are they a pedophile into Google?
Come on.
What? That's what you do. Immediately somebody gets shot.
What is so wrong with the Rittenhouse thing? Me thinking it's funny that he shot a pedophile in the head.
I think you can think it's funny. It's just a weird thing to say.
It's not that funny.
Well,
though.
you say it, and then you
Come on.
It's a stretch to make it funny, but I see how you see it funny.
Fat Blue Lives Matter chud who's pretending to be a cop in Crocs blew a pedophile's head up. Like he blew it up like a fucking melon.
He didn't even know he was a pedophile.
I know, but that's how the Lord works. In mysterious ways. Sometimes you blow someone's head off, you feel bad about it. Then you look into it. Supposedly they raped someone who was probably under the age of 12.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, who did?
The guy that got shot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is like your version of Dostoevsky's short story. It's like, oh, how queer the works of God.
You shouldn't say that.
How gay the works of God.
Yes, thank you.
There is a funny quote. I like the quote, but it's funny just for the word in it. I think it's from like fucking like Aldous Huxley or some shit like that.
Yeah.
He goes, "The universe is not only queerer than we can suppose, but queerer than we suppose, but queerer than we can suppose." And it's a beautiful quote, but then it's just like, he said queer.
Yeah, it's messed up, man. I have thought about it a
What's
little bit.
messed up? Saying stuff's gay?
Yeah, it's I guess. No, but I came, when I was a child, when I was a kid,
Spit it out.
I came.
And I came.
Yeah, no, when I was a kid, we used to play Smear the Queer.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even a thing. Like I didn't even,
You didn't even realize it was bad.
I didn't register that it was a
I
negative
remember
thing or anything.
specifically playing, my coach being like, we're going to play Smear the Queer.
Yeah.
And then me going like, what's a queer? And then my coach going like, oh, like a gay guy. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then just going and playing the game. And then like a couple years later being like, oh yeah, that's kind of not good because I like now know people who are secretly gay. So we shouldn't say it's good to
It doesn't
smear him.
hurt anybody, though.
The kid who was secretly gay in the gym class, it did.
Oh, come on. If you're going to be gay, don't grow up in Texas.
You're right.
Jesus.
What an idiot.
You got to be smart enough to somehow, get your parents fired from their job, so you have to move to a place more liberal, so they can work for the government.
Right, exactly.
Like a bunch of freeloaders. And then you can go and have your, selfish experience.
Right.
Yeah.
And grow up with no adversity in one of those blue states like California.
Right.
I say let them play the game.
I do have
let
friends.
the boys play.
I
Let
do
the
have
boys
friends who
play.
are like it was so tough growing up non-binary in Los Angeles, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure it was tougher growing up straight in Texas than what you had
Yeah.
growing up.
Yeah, because growing up straight in Texas doesn't mean that you're actually straight.
Right.
Because when you grow up straight in Texas, if you, as Jay said, if you read a book, people will call you gay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what episode it was on, but you guys remember it's now my daughter was getting bullied because she wasn't a lesbian.
Right. Yeah.
And then they didn't even know what lesbian meant. It's crazy.
Yeah, the world's really gone to hell.
No, it's just,
Bullying kids for being straight.
I just wish people would understand that it's the function of judgment is the problem.
Well,
And
yeah, it doesn't
it's
matter.
not about the
It doesn't matter what you do with
subject.
your penis or your pussy as long
Yes.
as it's like illegal. You know
yeah,
what I
as
mean?
long as it's consensual or whatever. But what I'm
Let's not
saying
go
is like,
crazy.
I hit my dick with a hammer.
is it consensual?
And here's the thing:
If it is, I can't get off.
I would defend your right to do that, to hit your own dick with a hammer.
And sometimes I get stuck in a guy's ass, and I use the other end of the hammer that you use to like pull nails out of the wall. I use that to pull my dick out of a guy's
That
ass.
I have to draw a line. I have to draw a hard line at that. That is where the Second Amendment fails. It breaks down. I would love for the Supreme Court ruling to have to do a landmark decision just based on this podcast, where we somehow threw a horrific bit about is pedophilia good.
Right up
The
top.
Second Amendment is now no more.
No
It
more.
has changed fundamentally.
Well, my proposal is it bad, but is it that bad? And that's what I want the listeners to think about this week, is how bad is it?
Jesus Christ. Why?
What? I'm giving homework assignments
Get
to
to
the
the
audience.
punchline, for fuck's sake.
What? I'm giving them homework so they can better themselves. Because you can't just because everyone walks around, they go, oh, this is bad, this is good. You can't live in a black and white world. Maybe pedophilia falls somewhere more in the middle.
You want me to be? I'll you know what? I'll agree with you, Ben. On
I'm looking at the individual, Kevin.
yeah.
I can't make broad blanket statements about groups of people.
Good.
Much less pedophiles.
Well, I think if you can get closer to empathy
Like
on the
Christ.
subject of pedophilia,
Like
and-
Christ.
yes, just like
Christ dined with
like
the
the Lord.
pedophiles.
He did. He drank with them.
he would say, Zechariah, why are you in that tree? Is it to look at little boys' dicks? Yeah, I mean, I will make the argument. First off, everything Ben has said is
Jesus
ridiculous
Christ. Yep.
about the pedophilia thing. But you can have a weird empathy for even things you find atrocious, like pedophilia.
Yeah.
Thank you,
can
Jace.
feel terrible that somebody was born with those urges in their brain.
Yes, and most likely was molested as a kid themselves.
Right.
you
I
know?
do think people lean on that.
I know you
I've,
do.
I've heard, you know I do.
I know you do.
That I've shouted it from the rooftops.
I have heard it multiple times.
Kevin, you've read my manifesto.
I've read it, and actually, I copied it on silver paper.
Right.
It's hanging in my door.
My manifesto is on audible.com.
100%.
Read by Malcolm Gladwell. Dude, by the way,
Took no pay for this.
can I tell
wanted
you,
to.
I just got done listening to Malcolm Gladwell's newest book. It's called like Talking to Strangers. And it is wild, the hot takes he goes on. He defends Penn State.
Yes.
The Catholic Church.
Fuck yeah.
Brock Turner.
He's a Pizzagate dude now.
Dude, it's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like the Brock Turner stuff is literally like his biggest thing is like we should like ban drinking on colleges. And it's like, well, I drank a lot in college. I didn't rape anybody with a beer bottle.
Yeah. Well, I think what he does a good job of is trying to
Defending the right people.
get to essentially get to the truth, which is nothing one thing specific. So he tries to look at everything and analyze it as if he's a computer. You know what I mean? So,
But there's some things I feel like you shouldn't analyze like that.
well, he
Anytime you're
literally-
defending like Penn State in the Jerry Sandusky scandal, I'm like, well,
But this is the job of our greatest thinkers,
right.
right? Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
It's to kind of look at topics where everyone goes, no, this is bad for sure. End of conversation.
Yes.
Why? This is the thing that bugs me about everything going on now. You're not allowed to have a conversation.
Right.
At all.
Right.
My only goal now is to be like, hey, can we? It's like people are like, he's a wild one just because I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Kyle Rittenhouse shooting a pedophile in the head. What a wild story. Isn't that crazy? And people are like, how dare you even bring that up?
right.
Not fair. Not fair. I say, let's talk about it. I say,
You don't even talk about it. You turn to somebody and you go, you know that gay show is a pedophile, and then you just stare at them. There's no deeper examination.
No, but I'm-
Pedophilia is not that bad, though, right?
no, my job in life is to be a mirror. So if all I can do is
what
show
a
you
fucking funhouse mirror.
show you the fraud that you are. If I can say Kyle Rittenhouse blew a pedophile's head off, and you look at me and all you see is yourself staring back at you, and if
Right.
that makes you uncomfortable, I'm sorry. But when I look in the mirror, I don't feel uncomfortable. I feel damn proud of what I see because I like the man.
When I
I've
look in the
become.
mirror and I see a giant Pepe face looking back at me with
That's
Joker
right.
makeup,
That's right.
You even fuck up your mirror so it screws with you. Jesus. Hey, okay, so I need to fucking, I need to get a word in here because you basically, I'll try to say something and then you're like, yeah, but little kids, they kind of like it though. right?
I'm speaking for you here, really.
No, you're
I
not.
don't have an opinion on this. I'm just trying to set you up for the spike that I know you want to make.
Thank you. I will say, so pedophilia is bad. All right.
Oh, come on. Have an open heart. Have an open mind, Kevin. Come on.
Right. I'm just.
How could you be so dim-witted and close-minded?
I'm just imagining Ben dressed as like fucking Richard Dawkins at a college like speech. He goes, the only thing I have to propose in American society is why do we condemn the pedophile immediately? And if I'm sorry, but if that speech is too radical for you, maybe you need to grow up a little.
I've written several thousand books on various technologies and histories.
You might remember
studied religion and
my seminal work, The Pog Delusion.
but today I want to talk about fucking a kid.
Fucking alive.
Because you remember Richard Dawkins actually did that on Twitter. Do you remember that? Where he just started tweeting. He's like out of nowhere, he just started tweeting. He's like, listen, the only thing I'm saying is there are levels of pedophilia. And everybody's like tweeting him. He's like, why are you tweeting this? He's like, you can't have a civil debate in America. They're like, I'm just wondering why you're tweeting this. Like, no, it's in response to nothing.
Ben hacked Dawkins' account.
Right. And then if you read 50 tweets down the thread, he's like, here's the thing. I was jerked off by a priest. And that's not as bad as getting fucked in the ass. Everybody's like, all right. You win the debate?
So what I will say is, so it's bad, number one. And I think it's okay to make decisions on things that you should and should not do. I think that's a good thing. I think there's some hard line issues, pedophilia being one of them. Okay.
Well, yeah, I've made this point to you before. It's nice to have, because I think of us as like people who will judge people independently and are very open to multiple interpretations on things. It's almost nice that there is a subsection of people that you can just write off completely. And for me, I think pedophilia and Chinese people, those are the two. No, of course, like you look at like a pedophile, you're like, oh yeah, just throw out everything, just fuck that guy completely. But
see,
if you're trying to get a deeper understanding of the universe, society, how people operate, you could look into that and examine what actually happened to that person.
Yeah, because if if you're being empathetic towards their situation, you're not doing it for no fucking reason because you want to have a daytime movie about yourself. You're doing it because you want to get to a world where this happens less frequently. So you can figure that type of shit out. And a lot of times, I'm telling you, man, you look at this shit and, you know, the guy that knocks you down and hits you over the head with a baseball bat and steals your money is doing it because, you know, he's fucking starving or he's addicted to crack. Or it's not like, I really do see people as they are motivated by outside influences. And a lot of people are just trying to fucking survive. You know what I mean? I think the majority of people. And shit happens to them, and it gets them fucked up.
100%, Kevin. And you know what's weird? If you think about it, if we are willing to have more conversations about the stuff we've been bringing up here, wouldn't this shit happen less and less frequently? Like, one of the reasons like rape and molestation and stuff happens so much in the Catholic Church is because sex is like this taboo that can't be discussed. It's this forbidden fruit.
Absolutely.
So why can't we talk like why Jace, why didn't we hear one sermon growing up about pedophilia?
You know what? I'll take it even further. You know what's a weird thing? We never heard a single sermon about masturbation growing up.
Masturbation, sex,
literally,
any of it.
I remember a specific...
Actually, you would hear about adultery.
I remember a specific part of my life
they'd have a hard time explaining what it was.
Right.
Yeah, I remember a specific part of my life where I had already started masturbating to child pornography, but that's not important. I had already started masturbating. I already started masturbating, but I didn't know if it was wrong or not. And I kind of, in the back of my head, I go, I know based on what I've been taught in the Bible that this is probably wrong.
Yeah.
But nobody's told me. And I lived for like 2 years like that. I remember specifically in a youth Bible class, one of the guys got up and he wasn't the usual preacher. He goes, and guys, I'm just going to say it. I know we don't talk about it. Masturbation, it's wrong.
Everyone starts sweating.
And dude, literally, you look around the room and people like a lot of people are like, fuck.
Yeah.
Because we were all 14. We're like,
100%.
God damn it. Like, I didn't have confirmation until now, so now it makes it a real sin.
Well, I used to have accountability groups, and I mean, I used to do a bit about this, but the accountability group was to make sure we weren't jacking off. And
everybody's just lying.
Yeah, dude, 100%. And I get confirmation that they were lying years later. I stay friends with a lot of those guys, and they're like, oh, yeah, especially one of my friends. Oh, dude, it fucked me. I was so pissed because, dude, oh man, I was so
He
mad.
acted the whole time like he had never masturbated.
Dude, and he was fucking chicks. He was
fuck him.
chicks. And I'd be like, hey, did you jerk?
What a cunt.
You reading your Bible? Yep. Are you praying? Yep. Did you do anything that if God caught you doing it, you'd be ashamed? Nope. Are you lying?
Yeah, he's just checking
Nope.
all the boxes so he can just get on to the next.
Yep.
I knew a guy
yeah.
in college who I'm still very good friends with, but he said, he goes, I have never masturbated. And
I knew a guy that said that. Too.
And
I found out he was fucking girls the whole time.
No, not even that. I was straight up. I was like, bro, come on.
Yeah.
Not once in your life you've masturbated. And still to this day, he's like, never done it. And I'm like, that is not. There's no way that's
Was
true.
this a guy you lived with?
Yeah, we don't need to get into that. Yeah, probably, maybe. No.
Dude, I knew a guy like that who said he never masturbated, and he I was like, oh, you need to see this funny video by the turquoise Jeep called "How You Like Your Eggs Fried or Fertilized."
Okay.
And it's like a mock rap. If you haven't seen Turquoise Jeep, I fucking love them. They're ridiculous. You can't tell if they're serious or not. Anyway, on the video, there's a good-looking black woman, and this guy saw her for probably about 3 seconds and is like, I can't be here. I can't be here. I can't be around this stuff. And it was like, what's the problem? It's like, it's because she's black. It's like, stop it. But yeah, he was, man. And he's a monk now.
Really?
Yeah.
Like the detective?
Yeah. He's Detective Monk now. Yeah. No, he's a good guy ultimately, but yeah, a little bit.
You guys remember the show Monk? That was a fun show.
Yeah, yes, I do. Sorry.
That was a fun show.
That's my surprise that I'm laughing.
I like that show.
Yeah, I like that show because he's like, there's a murder, but I'm like, my fingers are all germy now.
You guys ever watch a Darkwing Duck or a Tailspin or?
Yeah, but I barely remember it. I remember Tailspin more than Darkwing Duck.
It's all on Disney Plus, which is today's sponsor is Disney.
Disney. We hate the Jews.
We hate the Jews and we love family.
How much of Disney is just like programming the minds of children to be like fucking consumers and retards?
Oh, well, I mean, Disney has turned nostalgia into just a fucking gold mine of cash.
Yeah.
That's their goal. I mean, everything Disney has made recently.
They've bottled that shit. Like nostalgia and that warm feeling you get of like when you were a kid and you get to go over someone's lake house
Look.
and it's late at night and you're playing cards and drinking ginger ale. They've bottled that feeling somehow and they just keep selling it to
Yeah,
adults
you're-
yeah,
all
and
day
they
long.
make like 4 shitty movies every 5 years that are like new. And they're like, okay, in 10 years, we'll recycle that shit. And then we'll take everything from the 90s
Yeah.
and we'll just make it live action and shitty and who gives a fuck.
Well, at the end of the day,
but it'll make
Disney-
$1 billion.
Disney just wants to make money, and that shit sells. Because yeah, we're fucking idiots. A new character?
Right.
Nope. Sorry, no
Yeah.
room up in the old noggin. I got
Like the last
Garfield
Star
and the
Wars-
Peanuts characters and Saturday Night Live from 90 to 93.
Right.
And then The Wire. Love it. Great show.
The Wire.
I love
Disney's
The Wire.
You're going to Disneyland and you just see McNulty on a street corner and go like, shit, all these motherfuckers doing all this goddamn crime on the goddamn. You see fucking
That snowman was abominable.
who's the gay gangster from The Wire? God damn it.
Rudy?
Vito.
Yeah, Vito, no, The Sopranos.
I haven't seen The Wire.
God damn it, Omar!
I don't
You
know.
just see Omar with a scar on his face, carrying a shotgun.
Yeah.
He shoots Pluto in the kneecap. He takes his money.
Oh, by the way, I'll throw this out there. If you got an HBO username and password, throw it my way. brainjailpod@gmail.com. I won't share it. I just want HBO. And that'll be your portion.
David Lynch was saying, Jace, that feature films are headed for deep trouble, and he believes the art houses are going to become extinct.
100%.
I don't know if that's necessarily true because there's
I wanted to bring this up to Jace because Jace is always like, there's amazing films that are coming out every week that I just don't know about. And that there's tons of great indie stuff. And A24 still does a great job. But could you validate what David Lynch is saying or no?
I mean, I think in terms of big, I don't think there's going to be big original movies anymore. That doesn't really happen. There's not like any type of movie like
Like a Pulp Fiction or something.
I'm trying to think of like a big budget movie where they just like were allowed to do crazy shit.
Well, Uncut Gems was awesome.
Yeah, but you said that the other like a month ago. You're like every movie sucks now. And I go 2019 was full of amazing movies.
Yeah,
it was like the best.
Insane.
Yeah, it was the best year. It was the best year for movies in fucking 12 years since 2007. So there's still a market for that shit because there's a lot of smart people, especially with the internet. It's not going to be, you're not going to make Die Hard, level money for an art house. But
wait, what was the statement again?
He said feature films are headed for deep trouble and they're already dead. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I think that's why David Lynch is staying away from making feature films now.
Well, it's a fact, man. The big bucks come from movie houses.
So there's a weird thing where technology is, I think, also destroying film, but also
it was already rough.
But it's also making it great because it's so much easier to make a movie now. You can make a movie if you were a good cinematographer and you had a $2,000 camera. You can make a feature film. You really could on the weekends by yourself. And people are doing that all the time. Where versus, if you were trying to do that in the early 90s, you had to like rent shit from an actual production house. You had to like call in favors from 5 years of PAing. It would take you 8 years to make it because you had to sneak into editing bays.
Yeah, the specific film you have to use, it requires
like
millions of dollars.
Louis made Fuck Me Daddy. He made that on his fucking MacBook. Like he edited a feature-length movie on his MacBook, which is something you could not do in the past.
Yeah, that's true.
So there will be a lot of great auteurs, but yeah, you have to search that shit out now, which is kind of lame. And then if you want to talk about like a great movie, it's not in the cultural zeitgeist. The cultural zeitgeist is now, did you see the Ant-Man fucked Thor? The heck dare you say?
Well, yeah, when you look at that stuff, because I don't watch any of it, and then I realized most American people would understand references made to like Captain America and all these movies. I've never seen a second of any of the, like, it's just passing me by. Year after year, there's movie after movie after movie that everyone is watching, and I have no idea it exists.
Mm-hmm. Really?
No idea. The Avengers, I think there's been like 9 Avengers movies or something.
Yeah.
With all the superheroes. I only knew that movie happened because of that nutty professor, the Clumps.
The meme. So you knew about the Avengers Endgame from the nutty professor meme?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
If you don't know, I sent it to Ben. It's literally, this guy Wyatt Duncan on Twitter made it. He's really funny. Go follow him. He basically just edited in the scene with all the circles from Avengers Endgame where all the superheroes show up, but it's just the Clumps walking into frame. And then the scene from The Nutty Professor 2 where they're just eating the entire buffet.
The buffet.
Yeah, and people, it's the live audience reaction from the actual premiere, and people are like, no fucking
like people
way.
Are whistling and screaming like, yeah.
Yeah, and you just see, a clump, party of 4, please.
They're just eating at the buffet.
Right, people
crazy.
are like,
I gotta see this. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Oh, that's one of the most goddamn funny things I've seen.
You got to get off 4chan, you know what I mean, every once in a while. It's not healthy, You don't have time to, observe the Avengers now.
But you might as well, my whole thing is, you might as well drink from the faucet now. Because the memes and the feelings socially and culturally that we all feel now started on 4chan a mere 7 years ago.
Yeah.
These are some of the brightest individuals.
and they're all dead now.
that have ever lived.
They're all members of the clan.
They're actually controlling what you see politically and in the media. They create all the memes. They create these mobs that go out and
well, I do think that is true with the internet
in terms of how people communicate with each other and how they feel.
The weird thing is with the
they're
internet,
all 15, and you know why they are the way they are?
No.
You were asking about it earlier.
Because they all got molested.
Yes.
But that is a weird thing with the internet. It's almost like I feel like
the silver lining.
Young people control the culture when it used to be vice versa. To control the culture, you had to make something big. You had to get studio backing or a network would approve your show, and you influence the culture by being a successful person who had worked for 20 years and become a star. And now the people influencing the culture are just weird fucking 16-year-olds on Twitter or 4chan or YouTube or whatever, or TikTok,
Right.
And so now, like, our culture is being dictated by people who are like kind of retarded versions of themselves.
Right. Well, and art, is going to have to really rise above the fact that you can make a bunch of money just being a fucking 15-year-old girl who, does a blog every day.
Yeah, but there's still some great stuff being made, like some real like Dadaist type art being made in those cultures.
Sure.
And there's really great, I hate the word, but creators, people who are making really great, innovative, creative, moving stuff.
Yes.
I watched this is so stupid. I watched Inside Llewyn Davis the other day. I rewatched it, and I was just watching some YouTube essays on it. And there was one essay that like completely like recontextualized my views on depression.
Really?
And on the movie. And I was like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And then the guy has like 3,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
And so you'll get great art from shit like that, but you have to search it out.
Yeah. Hey, have you guys watched Dead to Me on Netflix?
No.
It's pretty good. 2 seasons.
Ah.
But there's that movie has basically find out that the 2 main characters have done something horrible to each other.
Molested each other.
They molested each other, but yet they're friends. And what it just explains the complexity of like each individual. Like you have somebody who's really nice, but is also a fucking murderer.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so what I'm trying to say is I killed a guy last night.
The panic of a story going nowhere.
Yeah.
So I killed him and I fucked him and ate him.
What are you going to do? We're all make mistakes, you know. We all, you know.
How great would it be if like another Freddy Got Fingered type movie came out? That'd be the shit.
You just want Freddy Got Fingered too.
That was the high art you were referring to?
No,
Right.
it's so fun to watch something that is funny just for the sake of being funny.
Yeah.
And I can't. I mean, that's what I try to do with this podcast when I talk usually. Sometimes I can get all gay and talk about how nothing's real and then I want to kill myself.
That's fine.
People want that too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It can't be all a guy flipped a shrimp into my wife's pussy for 2 hours.
And I love all of you. You know what I mean? Like no homo or anything, but you know, I'm gay.
There's not a lot to love.
Yeah. Ice cream's great,
that
but you
is not
can't
true.
be.
I weigh 180 pounds.
He's in great shape, folks. No, I mean, look, it's there is no, you know, baby in the bathwater. The bathwater is the baby. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
it drowned in
unfortunately,
it.
I mean, until you get that lobotomy we've been talking about, you know, there's going to still be a lot of bathwater, you know, and it's fine. You know, Jace.
I just want to get to the place where I realize there's no self.
Do mushrooms, man.
Like I want to have like a serious ego death where I realize like, because like I already feel like this is all fake and it's all a dream, but like now I just want to wake up.
Well, yeah, I feel like there's a problem in.
I feel like I'm still stuck in the Matrix world. Like I'm not like Morpheus hasn't plucked me out of the fake world yet.
Well, yeah, there's a thing where there's an ego death you have to go through, I think, but you're forgetting the second part of that ego death, which is a rebirth. You can't remain in ego death, otherwise you don't even exist. You have to. Now you have a pair of sunglasses and a pair of glasses on your head.
Don't scratch my glasses, dude. Bro.
Don't scratch my glasses with your glasses. Gay guy. Fucking gay guy.
If the people that aren't watching, me and Ben are now face to face and our glasses off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And,
you guys look like a prize fight promo right now.
That's right.
2 fists up. You guys are about to kiss each other.
Dude, put those sunglasses on for real, though.
The guy I picked up my takeout order from, he's this
put
sweet Armenian kid.
put him down,
and he had sunglasses on the whole time. He took them off at the end and he
He
said
had
something
no
nice
eyes.
to me. He was missing an eye.
Really?
Yeah.
What
And
did
he
he
had a
say
big
to you?
scar on his head. What?
What did he say to you?
He said,
You will die
well, it was
in
my
12
second time
days."
being there today. And he was like, oh, you really like it? And I was like, yeah, it was delicious. And then I noticed when he took his glasses off, he didn't have an eye. I felt made me really sad.
You said I
That
thought
he had
He
to-
just had a black hole where his eye should have been.
It was like shut really tight. And it wasn't like there was a scar over it and there was a scar running back over his head.
That's pretty badass, honestly.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
I don't know
pretty
what
cool.
I don't know what happened to him. He got macheted.
It looked like it might have been like maybe a really bad motorcycle accident or something.
Right.
Damn.
But I felt
mean-
bad. But so when I see stuff like that, when I see like crippled people, I get like so sad.
That's why we're friends.
I used to like cry when I'd see shit like that, like especially when I was younger. Now I'm a little bit more hardened to it. I don't let it affect me so much. But yeah, that shit fucks me up.
Yeah, Ben has a 3-legged dog. I don't know if everybody knows that that he hit with his own car. But the compassion was so much that's his dog now.
You just have when I don't know if you guys feel this way, but sometimes you see those people like that, and you just have that John Coffey moment where in one moment you feel all of their pain.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, that's, I think me and Kevin probably relate to that hard because I think that's the thing we have to get away from.
Yeah. It's.
I feel that about people who aren't even fucked up. I can just be sitting in my office getting COVID because all my coworkers are idiots. Mm-hmm. And then I just like look at one of my coworkers talking and I just kind of start thinking about their entire life and set of circumstances and what it's like. And your heart can break for any person, you know, on the street.
I feel like I've been closed off to that lately. It sucks. I shouldn't be closed off to it.
No, you shouldn't.
Shouldn't turn that off,
man.
That's what I'm saying is when you're talking about the ego death, there's a rebirth that has to happen in that. You have to come out of that and choose what you want your life to be about. Choose who you want to be, you know. Yeah. Still remember that the existence is fake and doesn't really matter, but still exists in this human world.
Well, I think one of the reasons that back in the day, we'd be standing outside of an open mic and I would be secretly really bothered by certain things, but there'd be some comics that I wouldn't get along so much with because they'd be like, Jesus, fuck that guy. Dude, that guy fucking sucks. Mm-hmm. And I'd be like, gosh, you really don't know anything about his life circumstances.
I have no idea who you're doing an impression of when you say sucks that way.
It's Norm Macdonald.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's like it would be frustrating because I would have that been what you're talking about, that level of empathy where I'm going, I feel bad for that. Don't say that. That's mean. You don't know what that guy's going through. You know?
Well, there's even a thing about, I always try to relate it to the self, because I have compassion for people usually. That's just a default mode I'm built with. But sometimes I lack it for my own self. So a thing I've had even like when I'm horrifically depressed, like if you've ever had a friend who's just kind of lived in depression for a while and they kind of refuse to get out of it. They refuse to change anything.
All three of us look at each other like,
well, we've all gone through that, but you've had friends who have like delved into it for a while and kind of almost started, I think, falling in love with their depression to a certain point. So every time you talk to them, and I've certainly been guilty of this, literally every conversation is like, everything sucks. Life fucking sucks.
Right.
There's no point to anything. And then you almost want to, not because you hate them, but almost as an argument, like, okay, kill yourself. Oh, no, I'm serious. Go kill yourself because life sucks. And they're like, it's like, well, no. And it's like, okay, well then fucking move on. Grow up.
Right.
Grow up, accept that life sucks, and make it less shitty.
Yeah.
Do things in your life.
Someone who's like, oh, my parents fucked me up, or it's like, okay, so now what?
Yeah, now what?
Dude,
you're going to live in this?
Now what?
You're going to punish yourself because you're in love with this idea of depression?
Yeah.
Dude, that was my mom. I remember she did that for almost 20 years, where she would just complain about shit that happened 20 years earlier.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Roe v. Wade.
Yeah. No, but they would just like, I remember telling her one time, I go, it's like you've got your hand on the stove right now. And all I do, every time I come over, I see you're burning your hand. And you keep telling me, gosh, this hurts. I hate this. This is the worst. And I go, Mom, stop. Maybe you should pull your hand off the stove. And she goes, God. And then she just goes, it just hurts so bad.
But that's the thing is like, people let their personality become the burning hand on the stove. That's who you are. I'm a person whose hand is burning. And I can't change that about myself.
Well, and I think that's for me is an off-putting thing to be one note in anything, which is why, I got such a problem with the gays.
Well, this is the thing. People want to simplify their identity.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I think about guys that have a better life, and it's like, I'd be great if I was like struggling, like I was in and out of rehab, and I lived like in Michigan, and like on the weekends I would just go get high as a fucking kite on my boat, and I'd pass out and wake up like super sunburnt, like in the middle of a lake, and the boat is like beating up against a dam when I come to, but everything is fine because I just reach over and I take one hit of PCP, and I'm back. I'm like, baby, I'm back, and I just go right back to fishing.
Right.
That's a simple life. You know what I mean? I sell CB radios at a truck stop. No. This is the life that I thought would be fucking awesome.
PCP.
This is the life. I'm a video poker machine repair guy.
Okay.
And I go from small town to small town at little truck stops and repair the video poker machines.
Yeah.
And I smoke cigarettes with the Waffle House gas station waitresses. And I rail them out. in the bathroom in exchange for weed.
And you know what's funny is
doesn't that sound fucking great?
Well,
James?
here's
You
the
smoke
thing.
cigs and you drive the Russ Cole truck, the F-150, the red one from
Here's the
96.
thing.
And you're a gigolo.
Here's the thing: is if you actually
That Russ Cole truck though, that red F-150 though,
that Russ Cole truck dough.
dude,
dad
that
had
truck
an
had so
F-150.
much fucking drip.
Well, here's the
in
thing.
True Detective.
Here's the thing.
It's true.
Here's the thing. Actually live that life for 2 days and you want to put a gun in your mouth and kill yourself.
But it's such a simple life.
But that's what I'm saying is the desire
But
of that
it's so simple, James.
the desire for that life.
So simple.
But your desire for that life is that's what I'm saying is that simplicity. That's what you are yearning for. That idea in your head of simplicity, which is not really true once you actually are living in a manner, because everybody has this idea of like somebody could look at me and be like, oh, you have like a good job, you make money, you don't have to work terribly hard, you're not tied down by kids and a wife or anything. And it's like I could look at your life and think the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So why don't you view your own life like that? You know?
Yeah.
Why don't you give your own life the fucking the rose-colored glasses that you give to any stranger's life who isn't like crippled or fucked up or some shit?
Yeah.
Because you could do it now. You could do it now. What do you do? You produce podcasts and you golf all day. What a simple life that is.
Seriously.
You want to drive from town to town, banging Waffle House waitresses and smoking cigarettes?
yeah.
You'd literally be doing 80 times more work than you currently do.
Like my job, I get to stay in a motel every night and just smoke cigarettes and like get on 4chan and just beat off.
Yeah,
and
because
stuff.
that's the funny thing is you literally could do that now. You could do that now if you
You've
wanted.
romanticized the worst life
Right.
for some reason.
You've romanticized making your life 80 times harder for some reason.
I just wish I was on the run from the law. All my bank accounts are frozen. And
But you'll see that-
people think I murdered my wife.
You'll see that sometimes. I remember this interview with Dan Harmon, who's like, he's great, but he's the worst ever.
Hey, can we get the dogs out?
I remember this
Before they
interview
go to a
with,
full blown.
You want me to let him out?
yeah, put
Yeah,
him
I
out in
mean,
the garage.
we're gonna get somebody from the NFL here in about 20 minutes.
Yeah,
if we're not
before this,
careful.
yeah. Michael Vick just shows up at our doorstep.
Yeah.
I heard you guys got dogs.
Sound like you got some good boys in there.
Okay, well,
All right.
I did
I
slightly
can't do
black.
it.
I did slightly black. You turned into Flapjack the butler.
Look, I only know how to do. I go full bore. All right.
Right.
Yeah,
Flapjack and Skip Scop.
I feel bad. I'll probably edit that out.
No, don't edit it out.
What if I edit in a worse one? A worse one.
We're at hour 6, by the way.
So I remember this interview with Dan Harmon where he's talking about it was like after like Community was at its peak and he's like the king of the world. He hadn't been fired yet or anything. And he wrote this article. I remember you shared this with me.
He was living in Dan Harmony. Huh?
What if we just ended the podcast right then? We never recorded another app.
Yeah. That would be pretty funny.
He wrote, I think it was on a Tumblr blog, which how gay is that? You have a Tumblr?
Not even spelled.
But he wrote about it. He goes,
I used to read this a lot.
Yeah, he goes, this isn't even, he goes, I yearn for the time when I was living in like Minnesota and I would host like a karaoke night in Minneapolis. I have freestyle rap and I get paid $20 to do it.
$50 a show.
Yeah, exactly. And part of me was reading that and it's like,
He was sleeping on a mattress, smoking Marlboro Lights, smoking weed out of a water bottle bong, and just like watching TV shows with Schraub.
right. And part of me is like, he said that's like the happiest time of his life. And part of me just wants to go, no, it wasn't. Let's be honest. It's the happiest time of your life because it happened 12 years ago.
Or
and
maybe
you
it's
forgot all the true feelings behind it.
Or maybe it's the happiest time of his life because he hadn't hurt as many people yet.
I think it was a
Possibly.
happier time in his life because he was young.
But that's a tendency for human beings
I think people.
is you paint the past with a really great brush. You varnish the past because all the day-to-day anxieties, trifles, fears, general panic you carry in your body, that's not a part of your memory. Your memory is just you sitting on the couch smoking weed and laughing to Jeopardy for 4 hours. But you forgot about the panic attack you had for 2 hours.
Yeah, they just want their knee to stop hurting.
I'll romanticize college sometimes where I'm like, man, college is great. Drinking all the time with my friends, living in that house, doing like just fun shit all the time. But then if I really look back on it, most days I was having panic attacks. I could barely exist. It felt like I was in a TV set where the saturation had been turned up too high. And everything, like the sun was too bright, the grass was too stiff. You know, it's almost like that quote in The Great Divorce by C.S. Lewis. I know that's a deep cut, but all these spirits get to heaven, and because heaven is so powerful, literally if they step on the grass, they're in agony because the grass is so strong it cuts into their feet, and the sunlight shoots through their body because their bodies are so weak compared to this great life that's around them. And that's how it felt to live in college. It felt like the world was too intense for my being.
Yeah.
But if I'm lazy, it's a great time.
Yeah.
I was getting drunk with friends. I made out with a girl for the first time. I fucking grabbed some titties.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. In reality, there was definitely some brutal times. I think for me, when I look back as far as like looking at times and like measuring them, was that what a good time or whatever? If I remember it, it usually was a good time. You know what I mean? If there's a good story, you know, some weird, you know, good shit that happened, like me and Ben going to Oregon, it was not a good trip. Like as far as like the reason we went, and like we went to do comedy, but everything else was a blast. In hindsight, I realized Ben is a full-blown alcoholic.
Right.
Who was going out of his mind. I didn't want to be too Christian and be like, you know, that maybe
and you were high the entire time.
Maybe we should talk to somebody about this, huh?
You can't be lecturing me as you're loading a bong.
100%.
It doesn't really make sense.
Yeah. And so it's like, but I look back and I was like, what a great time. Because I remember we had some memories, you know. We, you know, stole that weed plant and, you know, Ben threw a gun on the ground.
You fucks. But yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem is when you look into somebody else's life or your own life from a different time, you're not actually living inside of it. So it's not real. It's just this thing that exists in your head that's making you miserable.
Sure.
And it's not real.
Right.
At all.
Well, it does seem that all the old wise men and women have decided that it's, oh, fuck, what were you talking about?
Yeah.
Fuck, what were you just saying?
Painting over the past. Making it think better. Like, you know, perfect example, like Richard Jeni killed himself, you know. Mitch Hedberg died from heroin. These guys made $2 million a year doing what, you know, for a while was our dream. They worked 40 minutes a fucking night sometimes and made $2 million, and everybody loved them.
Right.
And those guys still killed themselves. You know, you look at that life and you go, oh, it's great, but you don't think of checking into your 500th hotel room for that year.
Right.
Like just sitting in a hotel room for 8 hours once again, nobody to talk to. You've gone through your Rolodex of friends. Nobody's picked up. You've jerked off for the third time. You're doing the same material that you hate. You hate your comedy at this point. People laughing at it disgusts you because you've done it so much. And you just don't think through all these scenarios. You think it's magical. And that's the real challenge, I think, to being happy, is to be able to realize that and apply it to your own life, where just fucking let the fear and the fucking small shit and the anxieties and the pain, they'll exist, but just don't fucking grab onto them because they're not real. It's all fake, you know? Like you laughed at me earlier today because I said fear is false evidence appearing real.
Yeah.
Which is the gayest thing I could ever say, but it's also true because it's not real, you know?
I know what I was going to say.
Yeah.
That all the wise men agreed that you got to live in the present, you know, and enjoy and be grateful for what's happening right now in your life, because there is a lot of good shit that's happening in your life right now.
Like that Eckhart Tolle book, The White Power of Now.
What's that?
The White Power of Now?
Who said what? I don't remember that. White?
Yeah.
I only read other books.
Roxane Gay.
Yes, that's right. No, I just read parts of Huckleberry Finn. Ben, see, that's me caring about you.
Thank you, brother.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that, brother.
Hey, no problem.
I appreciate brother Kevin for including me, making me feel warm inside by making references to racial stuff.
I mean, I have something.
I appreciate you, brother Kevin.
Hey, no problem. You know, I'm here. I'm a broken person who wants everybody in the room to feel good. And then I'm like, no, you have to be a selfish asshole sometimes, and sometimes I'm really good at it. And
you don't have to be either.
No, I got to be both. A selfish asshole and a nice guy.
You know, it would be a really simple life, though.
What?
Being like a
lumberjack.
Lumberjack sounds cool. I just watched a movie recommended by Jace, starring Nicolas Cage, that came out last year. The Colors of Space. or The Color from Space.
Oh yeah, based on the H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah.
Thing.
There's a black guy in it.
Okay.
Who he's a water. He's a hydrologist, I think is the term.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So he just like has a backpack. He just walks through the woods and just tests water to make sure it's not getting contaminated with stuff. That sounds pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like that's like if I learned about that job when I was a kid, I probably would have tried to be that.
Yeah,
You just hike and walk through the woods and like smoke weed.
You could get a degree in engineering or something, and then I think you could do that. I think that's what that requires. Civil engineering.
I'm pretty sure you just like put the water in like a tube and then bring it back to the lab and hand it to a guy.
No,
Yeah, that's your version of it. It's putting water in a tube and then holding it up to the light and then flicking it with your finger and going like, "This is a bunch of piss."
yeah, I got a buddy in
That was
Fresno.
a bunch of deer piss. What the fuck? There's some cum in it. Fuck.
It comes up on the computer, cum and deer piss.
Yeah.
It's 97% deer piss, 3% cum.
Yeah, that's my rewrite of the thing that they're producing is it's this organism that will take over people's bodies and make an exact replica of them, but they're gay. It's going to make the whole world gay.
They all put their pens down at the same time.
And it's called The Thing.
Oh, man.
Yes, sir.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, you do romanticize a little bit of your college days.
I'm saying, I went off a little preachy because, like I said, I got 8 hours of sleep for 2 days in a row, and now depression isn't real.
Oh, yeah, no, that's good.
But, I mean, this is stuff I need to take this advice a lot of the time, too, because I'll fall in the exact same trap, Yeah. I'll fall into the trap where this is a very perverse trap I'll fall into. I kind of sometimes believe that I'm cursed by God.
Right.
I literally will believe that sometimes.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, well, I'll be like, God, almost as a prank, and I know this is so stupid, but it exists in my head. God, almost as a prank, gave me all this talent, and he will thwart any chance I have at success on that. And then I know if I actually examine that with a fucking detective's eye, the real version of that is how much did you let fear rule your life?
Yeah.
And you never took active steps in pursuing creating stuff. And I'm not even talking about making stuff because I did that. But how many times did you not hit up somebody who worked in TV or comedy for coffee and just ask them advice or any of these little things, or sent your script out to festivals or send it to fucking people who work in the industry who are writers?
How hard did you not try because of fear?
How hard did you not try because of fear? And then to protect yourself, create this story that God had cursed you to walk the earth like Cain after he killed Abel.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? Like, this story just protecting you.
And in a lot of cases in that story, God is you, yourself. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like you're creating these realities for yourselves. That's what I tell anybody who's been a victim of sexual assault.
Well, that's the thing about a real victim mentality a lot of the time.
It is. That was a joke.
No, of course it's a joke, but there's like these stories that you tell yourself will create your entire life. And that's unfortunately pretty true, I think.
Right.
And I think anybody who's made, that's a problem like with the woke culture thing. Anybody who's made their identity, like they've made most of their identity fucked up shit that's happened to them.
Yeah.
And that's a large part of their identity. I think that's a dangerous way to live.
Well, we're in a culture
because you're
world,
putting yourself in a victim mind state.
Right. I mean, you used to see a kid, being throwing a fit or whatever because her parents weren't paying attention to her or him or them, they. And, that type of behavior wouldn't be encouraged because you'd recognize what was going on. But today, that type of behavior will get you a lot of attention. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's fucking great if it's a big deal.
Right.
But a lot of times it's not, or it's not helping.
Well, yeah, that would even happen in comedy, where a lot of my comedy was based on you're this ex-Christian kid who was fucked up by your parents in Texas in the church. And it's like, okay, so this is your identity now? You're just a victim of what happened to you?
Yeah.
Where's the change coming from that?
Yeah. No, I feel you.
Anyway, but I'll get no sleep over the weekend. I'll be back to my miserable self for the next podcast.
No, keep sleeping like this. This is good.
Yeah, I'm waking up at 6 a.m. every day, and I'm trying to get in bed by 10 p.m. every night. It sucks and I hate it, but I feel so much better.
That's good. I mean, what else are you going to be doing? You know, I know what I'm doing. I'm grinding camos on Modern Warfare too. You know, I should get better at 10.
I guess, Jace, like to harp more on the thing you were saying, like from the outside eye, if someone were to look at us, they would see this narrative of like, oh, they went from the church from Texas to here to pursue a creative thing. But the reality is, I feel like I just appeared here this morning. And I don't know how the fuck I got here. Mm-hmm. And I don't even feel like any of that shit that happened to me even happened. It doesn't even feel real. Mm-hmm. But like to the outside eye, you can see how people would see that narrative. So then you just make it your own identity.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you wake up one day, you're like, I don't feel that way. Mm-hmm. Right. I don't feel like this big victim.
Right.
Yeah. I don't feel like this guy who's on this journey that led him to here. I just feel like I'm just some fucking guy who woke up and this is the house I live in and this is what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was the real power of mushrooms when I took them for me, is that I was able to come out of that the first time I took a real big God dose, and I was able to just be like, oh, I wiped all the fucking viruses. I'm just a blank slate, and I can just stop holding on to this story, all this hate, this pain. I can just let it go.
Yeah,
which is so incredibly hard for people. And it takes a lot of work, a lot of therapy and work and time.
Yeah, letting go of all the hate and anger is it stifles creativity to like a maximum.
It stifles not only creativity, it stifles life. It stifles
your relationships with people,
your ability to love, your ability to have empathy for people, especially yourself.
I hate being an angry fuck. I am an angry fuck.
Yeah, I hate being a depressed fuck a lot of the times. I can be Mr. Sad Sack.
Yeah,
I've caught myself sometimes where I've been depressed for a couple days just because I physiologically feel bad. And then like by the fourth day, I'm just like fine. Like I got enough sleep or I ate a nice salad or something. Mm-hmm. But then I've like literally caught myself being like, I am cursed though. And I'm like, you don't even feel this, you know? And then I just like just move on. I'm
that's
like,
good.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier when you got stuff to do too, you know? So I think that's also important. Like, plan activities. I think that's great, man. I'm glad. I'm proud of you. You know what I mean? That's good. And because I'm your dad.
Does someone ever start talking to you guys and you just get really angry?
Yeah, a lot of the time, yeah.
What the fuck is that? Where someone starts talking to me, there's just uncontrollable anger inside of me, and I'm just like, I can't. I can't be a human being right now.
I am very guilty of that, actually. I think it is honestly the amount of stress you went through as a kid, and I went through as a kid. And that manifesting as like, why can't you just keep the fucking status quo and act in a way that pleases people?
Right.
Why do you have to go around acting in a way that is fucking causing me more shit in my life?
Because when most people talk to me, I want to immediately go, I don't give a fuck about that. And turn around. Instead, I'm like, okay, be a human being. People have feelings. And like, you don't be a fucking narcissist and a selfish asshole and only care about shit you care about. Mm-hmm. Give a fuck about things other people care about, because that's how you used to be an open-minded dude, and you used to listen to what people had to say, and you used to care about people's life experiences. And now if someone starts talking, you want to kill them. And that's not okay. That is not okay, dude. Stop being a fucking narcissist.
I think I've shared this before on the podcast, but it was a long time ago. One of the most like embarrassing memories I have in my life, like the one that'll make me cringe still to this day, and I don't talk about it often, it's literally a simple one. I was in like freshman year astrology class at my dumb Christian college, and my astrology professor is a very nice guy. Sorry, physics. My physics professor is a very nice guy.
You did take physics in college?
I took an introductory because I liked physics at the time. I thought I was going to be a physicist.
That shit sucks.
It really did suck. Ass.
I don't know how people do that shit. It sucks.
Yeah. And everybody involved sucks. They look like fucking like de-skeletized like mouses. I'm like, does this person have no fucking backbone? Mm-hmm. It was the beginning of class, and he goes, all right, I want to go around the room, and I want you to tell me what you think, like the reason for the universe. Why are we all here? What is behind everything? And then people went around for a while, and when they were giving their answers, somebody's like, I think it's God, or somebody's like, I think it's like this. One person said, I think it's 42, like the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and a couple nerds laughed.
Oh, God.
I know.
I would have.
And I was getting more
and more school shooter.
I was getting more and more steamed because in my eye, I'm like, look at all these fucking idiots I know. They don't know. They're fucking retarded, and I'm a genius. Which I still think is kind of true, but whatever. It's not a good way to go through life.
Oh, that's so funny.
And then after like 45 minutes of it, I finally raised my hand. I'm so embarrassed by this, but how smugly I said it. I go, he's like, yes, you. And this is like in front of 100 people. I go, yeah, I think everybody's just kind of repeating the same thing now. And that's like where we're at this. And the professor was like, oh, well, I guess you are right. We can probably move on if the class wants to. And the class was like, yeah, we can move on. And I was like, yeah, that's fucking right. And then like within 5 minutes, I'm like, oh my fucking God. Like I literally like I might as well have a fedora and an anonymous mask on my goddamn face.
Smoking a bubble pipe.
Yeah, I'm smoking a pipe in the lecture, and I go, actually, if you read the deep readings of Tolkien, you'll discover that the hobbits are actually gay. Yeah, I just smell like shit.
I had a moment like that in art class where we were talking about, that really rich artist who puts the great white sharks in the blocks of...
yeah, I don't know his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he basically just sells art to like billionaires and stuff. I forget his name. He's like a modern pop sort of artist.
I actually like his stuff a little bit, but yeah.
I do too, and like he's a very polarizing figure in the art community because it's literally a shark, Kevin, in a glass... fucking thing,
freezer?
And he's
like it's been encased in like amber,
like
basically.
cosmoleum or something, just to preserve it.
Yeah.
And the big debate is, is this art? And like everyone in our class is like, oh, it's it's easy, like it's not art. Everyone's having this big debate, and I raise my hand. I'm like, if this is so easy to do, then why didn't anyone think of it? And also, if it's so easy to do, then you do it. You go catch a shark.
Right.
You put it in a thing. You freeze. And the professor's like, wait. You were telling me to do it? I'm like, no, I'm saying you and the general you. He's like confused. I'm like, if it's so easy, then you do it. Right. I'm like, he did it and he sold it. And so you guys are talking about how easy it is and how it's not art. He did it. You didn't. You have to go catch a fucking shark and figure out how to put it in this thing. I'm like, that's fucking crazy hard. And he was like, okay, Jesus. All right.
He pulls the fire alarm.
And I was like, in my head, I thought I was about to make a great point that was going to blow everyone's mind. Everyone's like, okay, this guy's retarded. And then one kid raised his hand. He's like, I could do that. He's like, you just need enough money to do that. I'm like, yeah, I guess he's right. I'm like, because he didn't do it. He just paid someone to catch the shark. And
there's nothing worse than thinking you were having a great moral stand moment
in front of hundreds of people.
And then for every other person, that moment was just them at the mall. Like, basically. It was the most banal thing of all time. And you're like, mister, get your goddamn hands off of her.
Yeah. I did have one moment like this in my Christian film school I went to where... everyone kept raising their hands because we were talking about what can we teach people who aren't Christians, right? Mm-hmm. And it was like, well, I can teach people to do this. I can teach people to do that. And after 45 minutes, I was purple and red. And I was really so over religion at this point. And all I wanted to do was go do an open mic after that anyway.
Yeah.
Because this was like 2014, right? Yeah. I was like working at Funny or Die. I got so mad in the middle of class. I was like, all you guys are talking about is what you can teach other people, and none of you have discussed what you can learn from others who aren't Christian. I was like, everyone who's a Christian that I know feels like they have everything figured out and they have nothing to learn from anybody else on this planet. Yeah. I was like, and it really frustrates me and annoys me. We have so much to learn from people who aren't our same religion or our same background or whatever. And all you guys talk about is what you can do, what you can teach other people. Bitch, like, what can you learn from other people? What can you learn from your neighbor? Yeah. And like, I sat down and I was like, holy shit, I just really went off on the whole class.
Mm-hmm. And then the teacher was very Saved by the Bell starts playing.
Dude, I was so mad. And when I sat back down, I was like, holy shit, I was just like yelling and like fucking. And the teacher's like, okay, but we can talk about that too. We were just talking about the other thing. Like, you know, and someone raised their hand. They're like, I've been feeling the same way. Like, thank you, Ben, for saying that.
Yeah.
Well, your stories are all you're a hero.
No, the other one, I was a retard. Yeah. The whole class thought I was a retard with the art one. Mm-hmm. And then the other one, dude, the film school one, I was also retarded. Because everyone's having a polite discussion, and all of a sudden I'm screaming in the middle of class, like turning red.
Yeah. You're like basically the Republican kid in every class.
Yeah. Like I sucked in that. I'm embarrassed thinking about every moment in my life that I think about is like it's hard for me to remember some things I've done because it's so embarrassing. Those moments in your life where you're like, fuck, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Fuck. But I remember when in middle school, I went up to a kid and I told him he was going to hell because he was swearing.
Oh,
he was
geez.
like, okay, man. It was
Yeah.
like at a cross country meet. And I'm like, God doesn't want you to swear. And if you swear, you're not going to go to heaven. And
Yeah.
I was like, I hope you find the Lord and like go to church and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah,
Fuck. I sucked. I sucked dick, dude.
I always try to let that just roll with whatever would happen. You know what I mean? Like, that's why the whole gay thing is funny, because I got called gay my whole life. You know what I mean? As a kid. Just like roll with the punches. You know what I mean? You're like, oh yeah, I'm gay. It's me. And then they got nothing. Sorry, I'm getting a text.
It's a text that says you're gay. It's from your wife. Yeah.
Fuck. R/cringe, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
My whole life has been cringe.
Like, there's been times when I'd look like a fucking idiot, but I kind of would just, I don't know, I would just roll with it.
Yeah.
Like, I would try not to be ashamed about it. And as I get older, the more uncomfortable I get. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you guys are experiencing that same thing where it's just like,
Well, I think
I've become more easily embarrassed.
the more I will stick up for myself, definitely,
Yeah.
which I think leads to more potentially embarrassing stuff. But that's not even true, because if I'm sticking up for myself, I'm being honest in a moment. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not being an asshole, but you know,
Yeah.
Every moment where I've tried to stand up for myself, I end up embarrassing myself greatly.
yeah.
And maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm just like a publicly agreeable person now.
your version of the Joker quote is you go, I thought my entire life was r/am I the asshole? Well, it turns out it was r/cringe.
I thought it was r/Tifu.
Yeah, your therapist is like, what are you laughing
And I
at?
realized it was r/self-suck.
Right. Your therapist is like, what are you laughing about? And then you're staring at a picture of a green frog sucking his own dick. And you're like, you wouldn't get it. That's life. That's what all the Pepes say. You're riding high in some guy because you're gay. And I know I'm going to talk shit about the Jews. That's all I got.
I was ready for you to bring it home.
It's that's right instead of that's life.
Yeah. My wife is a funny thing from Borat.
I think it's good you remember those type of moments where you're just horrified.
I think about them too much. They just come to me out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
think
the
I
opposite
think about
could
it too
be
much, but
the opposite could be you could be not embarrassed by those, because I know people like that and they just slowly have no friends like left in their life
well, it's paired with
because
the
they're doing that
romanticizing.
over and over again.
Yeah, for sure.
It'd be nice to remember one story where I was like the cool guy,
Yeah,
or
dude,
like I stood up for something that was good or something.
You just did one when you were.
No, that was
college.
bad.
Oh, that was good.
That's what's called a public freakout, where people are like, okay, we got a rogue one.
Yeah,
but
that's real r/cringe.
Yeah, but you said something that needed to be said. You know what I mean? And maybe you said it with too much passion.
The second
That's
story
my
is-
problem. I never know how to say something
Yeah.
without being like,
Yeah, when you get really into something, it sounds like you're like almost yelling.
everyone thinks I'm.
You get a little bipolar sometimes.
You turn into
where
like an old speech from Hitler that I saw in history class. You go, the thing about Christians is they do not learn.
Yeah, I've gotten caught
Sorry
in
for
the Benny
keeping the mic.
whirlwind before.
I have so much anger, so much.
You should probably go to therapy.
Yeah, I probably should.
You crack open a beer and just start drinking again.
Fuck me. God damn it.
Yeah.
I think the booze problem was mostly just like the anger addiction. Like, good Lord.
Well, you
Just the numb down the anger.
absolutely 100%. Yeah, you got.
Boy, I'm an angry fuck. I am an angry cocksucker.
Yeah,
I'm a real chode.
Oh yeah, well you don't hate yourself for it. It's fine. People are born with stuff, and it's your job to just kind of decode it.
I feel like golf is kind of helping me with not being as angry, though. I've been much more calm on the golf course.
right. Yeah.
Much
good.
more
But
zen.
therapy would be a lot better.
No. No.
I did see I almost sent it to you. I did see a stupid hat that said, for everyone else, there's therapy. For me, there's golf. And it's like, I'm just imagining a guy beating his wife while wearing that hat. Beating his wife with a 7-iron.
Wait, what's the quote again?
For everyone else, there's therapy. For me, there's golf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For everyone else, there's therapy. For me, there's alcoholism.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, how long have we done?
yeah, I think it's
Hour
about,
32?
yeah, I think we're about out of steam, right?
I don't know. I might have a little steam left, you know? Who knows? I got to go down and check the steam vaults and see if there's any steam
Like
left
in the book version of The Shining?
Yes, the Dr. Sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Fucking great.
Dr. Sleep, what's that about? Dr. Cliff Huxtable?
Oh, folks. Hey, what's that? Dr. Sleep, what's that about your stand-up comedy? Yeah. Folks. I'm not talking to anybody in general, you know. Yeah, I like Dr. Huxtable. You know, sometimes when you want to knock a woman out.
It is funny that his entire show, his job was staring at women's pussies.
Oh, yeah.
That is pretty funny. And then also giving them gas so they could go to sleep. And then staring at their pussies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did he do that?
Well, I mean, he was like a baby doctor. I'm a fucking retard. He was whatever that's called.
Gynecologist.
Baby doctor.
No, not even a guy. He was the guy who like helped people.
Oh, pediatrician?
He helped people give birth specifically.
Oh.
So he was like giving women drugs and then looking at their pussies, which is is weird art imitating life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He was a wet nurse.
Yeah, a real wet nurse.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ah, man. Another complex individual at Bill Cosby. I'll tell you what.
Do we have a gay ass email from some gay fan who has brain damage?
I do love it when a fan emails us. It's just like, hey, what if you put a tuna fork in a salad dish and shoved up your gay 9/11 ass because you hate the Jews? And you're like, all right, well, I guess we can't tell him this is stupid email that he sent, but whatever. I'm probably discouraging people. Most emails are very fine, but every once in a while there'll be an extremely retarded one.
Well, be yourself in your email. How about that?
Yeah, don't try to be us when you email us. Because once again, I don't know you, so if you want to email the N-word to me, it just seems like you're a racist guy.
And sorry to that guy I couldn't play golf with who listens to the show because I had to go out of town last minute. But
you suck.
Oh, that guy sent me a golf video of his swing. It's our one black.
Is he 500 pounds?
It's our one black listener, right?
Wait, is he really?
Yeah,
that guy's black. Mm-hmm. Oh, fuck yeah!
It's the same guy I'm thinking about.
How's
now
his
I know
swing?
why you. Now I know why you canceled on him.
Yeah, you piece of shit.
How's his swing?
I don't know if it's the same guy, but his swing was pretty good. I gave him a little advice. He was standing too far from the ball, so I told him to stand a little closer and just work on learning to swing from the inside, turn the club head over a little bit.
Oh, is his path to out to in?
Just barely.
Yeah.
But it's mostly because he's standing so far away, so he kind of has to like dive at the ball to hit it. Yeah.
I do have a review to read. They call us America's Son. Mm-hmm. America's Sons. They have reoccurring bits about what we're all thinking, but too afraid to verbalize, e.g. celebrity impressions performed as the Mad Hatter. 5 stars. So thank you, Plastic Straw Lobbyist.
Thank you, Plastic Straw Lobbyist.
Much appreciated. No, I'm not going to read that one. Never mind. We're not going to read.
What, were they all like X-rated?
You guys wouldn't like them. You know, I know you boys. I know you boys what you enjoy and what you don't enjoy. So you know, there's some I'll leave out. Mm-hmm. I don't want to hear the criticism from the Avery brothers about my selection of podcast emails to read. All right,
you're not good at it.
I'm not good at it. I can barely read. I'm putting together sentences now. You know, I'm feeling good.
Well, you go cross-eyed after you smoke a bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's blurry.
Kevin fucking turns into Jerry, not Springer, fucking goddamn
Lewis?
Jerry Lewis.
Oh,
Kevin hits the bong and goes, "Oi!" and then shits himself loudly.
Oh, ladies. Yeah. I can't. By the way, I want to applaud Ben. Hasn't defecated on his microphone once this whole episode.
I ate kebabs today.
And yet nothing.
Lamb kebabs. Meat and rice and hummus. Fine.
No farts.
Have you heard about this, ladies and gentlemen?
But this morning I did have
Hey,
diarrhea.
kebab.
I had Chick-fil-A diarrhea this morning.
God, Chick-fil-A diarrhea? Mm-hmm. What do you get diarrhea
My new thing
from?
is having diarrhea at like 5 a.m.
It's probably because you're so angry. You're so angry that your body turns all your shit into liquid.
Have I woke you up, Jace, from having diarrhea at like 5:30 in the morning?
Yeah, but it's like I think it's like a waterfall, so it makes me go to sleep deeper.
It's like a rain.
You're right, exactly.
It's good. A white noise machine, but it's a white ass machine. It's Ben's white ass.
White ass machine.
Ben's white ass machine.
I'm like, oh man, I gotta get to sleep. Let me turn this on.
Hey, how do I remember dreams, by the way? Because I keep having weirder and weirder dreams as of late.
Hell yeah. Tell us some dreams.
No,
I can't remember them. All I do is I wake up and I remember that I was the bad guy in the dream, and like I fucking hurt someone like in an irreparable way.
I don't want to harp on this, but maybe the therapy once again.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I think that's your subconscious mind trying to work some shit out.
Just dreams where like I have some great big lie and I'm found out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then
that's your subconscious mind. Yeah, trying to work some shit out.
It's probably also like a little bit of imposter syndrome. You know what I mean? Just especially
because you're pretending to be straight and you're actually gay.
Right. No, but you were
Straight
definitely
imposter syndrome.
in a short period of time have been thrust among people that you could definitely look up to and admire and are impressed by, you know, their celebrity and things like that. And you're around that all the time. So I don't know. I can imagine imposter type syndrome.
Yeah,
shit where like
that shit is hard to deal with. I'm not gonna lie.
They're gonna find out that I'm just a little boy from Texas. You know,
I know a comic specifically. I'll name him off the podcast, but he's like one of the few people we've known who's gotten a lot of late night sets and has gotten a lot of success from the industry. And he's not like
Adam Newman.
Yeah, it's Adam Newman. Guy's been in stand up for 25 years. No, and he's like not trans or like gay and black or anything like that. He's just a white guy who's actually gotten success, and he's talked about having imposter syndrome because he sees all these people around him who he thinks are very funny who haven't got that, and he's had to deal with that a lot. So I think that's very relatable, honestly. Yeah, I'll tell you off podcast too. It's Bill Cosby.
Yeah, I knew it. That's what I said. I thought it was Bill Cosby.
White Bill Cosby.
I would love if you told that story when he was like, you're like, it's my friend, you know, and I'll name him later. But what he would say, he was just like, I feel like an imposter because I get to be around you and you're so much funnier than me. And you're like 20 times brilliant. Okay, it was Jerry Seinfeld.
You know what it is, Chase?
My pal.
Like, this is the only way I can relate to it. To the folks at home, Bubba Watson is a golfer. And what I love about watching the 2012 Masters, not to spoil it for anyone, it's Bubba's first major win at Augusta, at the Great Augusta National Golf Course, in Georgia. What I love,
United States.
What I love about watching that final round is Bubba Watson is just playing really damn good golf, and Bubba doesn't know he's a champion yet. He doesn't know. He has no idea. He doesn't have that identity of being a champion. He is a world champion, and he has no fucking idea. And when he wins that tournament, he's crying, and there's some weird feeling of guilt. He's like, I don't get it. I'm just like some kid from Florida, who is just some guy who likes to play golf, and he's like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, he can't process it. He's just crying, and like that was the day he found out he was a champion. I want to. For everyone. And here's the thing, Bubba was wrong for not feeling like a champion. It was kind of a fluke. He is a champion without having ever felt like one, because you should feel like one before you are one. And that's what I want to do. I want to feel like a champion. I want to act like a champion. I want to think of myself as an artist. I want to think of myself as a creative person.
Yeah.
And when I start creating that narrative, that's really infectious. Creating whatever narrative you want to surround yourself, it's gonna feed into your identity and make you into those things. But if you keep viewing yourself as, I'm just this kid from Texas,
right,
I don't know shit. All these people are comedy legends and they know all these things that I don't. If that's your perspective, you're probably just always going to be that.
Yeah.
And you're always going to feel insecure, and you're always going to feel like the smallest little minnow in a big ocean of beluga whales.
Yeah.
And not to throw shade at your wife, Kevin.
That's why I say the therapy thing again, because it helps you sort a lot of that shit out. Or not even, you do other versions of that, but there has to be intentionality behind it. Like, I'm journaling every morning again, and that really helps me because I can I can fucking sort shit out. Yeah.
I don't know.
And it usually starts as me bitching, and then halfway through it's out of my system, and I realize how that's actually a false thing I'm thinking, and then I kind of correct it. You know?
I will
and
say,
you start feeling grateful.
Yeah, and then I try to write out 5 things I'm grateful for. It's just my dick, balls, and ass over and over again.
Every morning I write 5 things I'm grateful for. It's LGBTQ. Just 5 letters, folks.
And it's ladies, boys, teenagers, LGBT, goys, and queers.
It does seem like there is. It makes sense to me that you would have a hard time feeling like you deserve to feel good about stuff. Like it's okay. Like you deserve this. You should feel good. You know what I mean? Like, because both of the things you talked about, the dream and then him, Bubba saying like, I'm just this kid. He's being surrounded. People are cheering. He just won.
You got the green jacket.
Yeah.
The coveted green jacket.
And to finally be at a place in his life where it's like, to be like, I deserve this. I deserve this. Like, this is okay for me to receive this positive accolade. I think that points to something that's deeper, that to where even a very insignificant amount of accolade or praise can be like, whoa, like get that shit away from me.
Because I
don't deserve this
hate
shit.
compliments so much.
Yes.
Like I hate getting them. Like I like them in retrospect because they make me feel good, but in the moment I hate it. And I think what you're discussing, and then Kevin, you can relate to this, is I think if you grow up Christian, there's an imprint left on your brain of, you're taught this from a young age, the imprint is that I am a flawed person.
Yeah.
And I am undeserving. You're told that all the time. You're undeserving of the grace of God. You're not taught about the love of God. You're not taught about how you're special in his eyes, about how regardless of what you do, you are deserving of the love of the supreme being of the universe. You're not taught that. You're taught that you are dirty, you are unclean, and you need to somehow earn that, like that cleanliness. So for you to get something good happen for you, I think a large imprint of that Christianity is like, well, I don't deserve this. I have to earn it somehow. And maybe that earning can be, I'm going to make myself feel shitty, or I'm going to make myself feel guilty, or I'm going to dive into all these things that are bad for me and punish myself because that's how I earn good things happening to me.
Yeah.
Like suffering is the beginning of wisdom.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, it's like
it's a shitty mindset to have is what I'm saying.
You're a monk. Yeah. You're a monk, flogging yourself in order to gain, make up for your past sins. You're whipping yourself on the back.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I'd hear a pastor just be like, "Y'all know I'm a piece of shit. I'm I'm the worst."
Yeah, we've done that bit so many times.
It's exactly. I mean, it's so
because it's so spot on. Yeah,
it's 100%. I mean, he would say, make a straight lick with a crooked stick. That was one of his sayings that he heard from a pastor in Denton, Texas, ironically enough. Where all the pastors that my church, they all went there. But
Meatloaf came from Denton too.
Yeah, but I mean, they talked
the band,
the artists. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Meatloaf came out of Denton, Texas,
and the food.
They had a little music scene down there for a minute.
Yeah.
Now it's all a bunch of hipster scum.
Yeah, they're gonna change the world one walk across the street at a time.
That is the one that always pisses me off, is when they walk in downtown LA. It's like, there's literally not a homophobic person here.
Yeah.
Not a single one. Are you kidding me?
Absolutely. 100%.
Well, there are some, but they're so high on crack cocaine.
They're fucking, they're 3 days away from dying.
Well, it's like when we were in Portland, we had like 25 different guys who looked like they were trying to play the guy from the movie Powder,
right?
Wearing Black Lives Matter shirts. Couldn't find a black guy to save our lives, though. Right. Portland, sorry. Fucking jackasses.
Man, I hope that city burns to the ground.
Maybe you're doing something that's not attracting diversity. I don't know. Maybe it's your weird fucking approach to race.
Yeah,
fucking
it's
weird.
maybe you're weird. Becoming a fucking priest for diversity. Might get Trump reelected. Maybe.
Interesting.
It's funny that a whole city of people that just hate themselves are wanting to burn their own city down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You wouldn't think that.
It makes sense, actually. Yeah, dude. Crazy. Jesus Christ, man.
Anyway, what were you saying, Kevin?
I was just saying, though, like, I think you got to get to a point where you're able to accept some of these accolades. I think, you know what I mean? Like, and love yourself. I'm just saying the Avery household did not seem like an encouraging place. It did not seem like a place where it would be, people would give you a thumbs up to like patting yourself on the back, you know, or that type of shit. It seemed like a competitive household, you know, where you were constantly kind of competing with one another. Meanwhile, your dad's rocking in the chair with a show on. He's half asleep.
Right.
You know, but he just wants to be dead.
Shotgun in his lap.
Yeah, constantly.
Pointed at his mouth.
Yeah. He always falls asleep with his shotgun resting under his chin. Can't fall asleep without it. But I think it would make sense that would be something that would be hard to deal with, where you're in a position now where, fuck, dude, like, I know your brother and I and your mother and I, we're proud of you, man. You're doing some really cool shit, and you have made it in a version of this fucked up entertainment career. And it's not because you're just a fucking producer, but you're obviously part of the creative shit that's happening, you know, in your life. And we don't talk specifically about it because we're sensitive to that, you know. But, you know, you can figure it out. But
Ben is the producer for Gavin McGinnis.
That's right. That's right. He produced Nanette's Douglas or Hannah Gatsby's Douglas.
The double life of Ben. He's the wokest man in Hollywood.
That's why Hannah Gatsby's the only person we follow on Instagram.
I'm making Selma too.
Yeah,
Selma too. Electric Boogaloo.
Oh Jesus! But you're doing some good shit, and you know, the fact, like, kind of the couple of things you've said tonight, you know, points me to believe that might be something you're struggling with, and I think you need to identify that shit and fucking fight it. You know what I mean? Go after it. Get better at it. You know what I mean? You deserve it. Feel good.
If I've already unlearned being very religious,
yes,
and I've unlearned being an alcoholic, the other thing I need to unlearn is
hating yourself,
extreme self-hatred and self-doubt.
Well, you know, this is going to sound like a weird
me too
example, but there's a line, and I recently rewatched He Got Game, which is a very good movie. Spike Lee movie. I'm a hero.
I love it.
But there's a line at the end of it, traitor. There's a line at the end of it I love. I can't even say the full quote, but I'll paraphrase. I'll say in place of what word I think you know what I'm going to say. Is you know, Ray Allen's character has spent his whole life trying to destroy his dad, basically through basketball. Yeah, he's in the movie.
Ray Allen?
He plays the son of Denzel Washington.
The Celtics player?
Yes.
For real?
Yeah.
Huh.
Anyway, so he spent his entire life trying to destroy his dad because of how his dad raised him, and he killed his mom. And he's been trying to get so good at basketball to basically...
Whoa, you skipped over... He killed his mom?
Denzel Washington killed Ray Allen's mom, his wife, baby mama in the movie.
Nice.
And he spent his whole life trying to do this, and then eventually he basically beats his dad at a game on one-on-one, sends him back to prison, and this whole thing. And it's basically basically proven I am a billion times better than you will ever be. You are an ant compared to what my life is going to be. And Denzel, right before he's about to go back to prison, he's getting carted off. He just walks up to him and he goes, now get that fucking hate out of your heart. Otherwise, you'll just end up another angry N, just like your fucking dad. And then he just walks off the court. And I just always love that quote because it's like, no matter what you do, if you carry that hate in your heart, it's going to destroy you.
That got me a little bit. No shit.
Really?
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Because that is a conversation that I've had with my son about self-confidence.
Yeah.
And things like that, and not giving up, you know, and yeah, because you see, especially in like that example, obviously extreme, but
you say that it's specific phrase to your son.
Yeah, you just
just like your old man.
Yeah.
Kevin Tink.
That's right.
Hey, Kevin, it's blinking blue now.
Oh yeah, it's probably dead. I just cut to just audio only, and then a picture of the
Gotcha.
logo and shit. But yeah, that's you see what you hate about yourself in your kids, even an inkling of it, and
Your wife.
Yes. And then,
Nice.
your damn hair. No, it's one of those things where it's just like, look I am in a situation where I didn't fix this early.
Mm-hmm.
And gosh, I do not want you to feel the way I feel about certain things, you know?
Right.
So let's work on that now and try to get past it, you know, because I care about you and you are so much like me, it's fucking scary.
Right.
So let's work on this so you don't have to be exactly like me, you know?
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't like that for you, you know? But I think that's something you got, I don't know.
It's hard to carry that same empathy for yourself.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just turning into my mom. It's
You're on big tits.
yeah, I'm complaining. I could have been rich by now if I just stuck in the system. Yeah, and I'm complaining about something from 20 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, just give up on. Yeah, if I could steal a quote from Ram Dass, I think we're like pretty close to wrapping up. But if I could steal a quote,
I think that was a great place to end. But Jace, go on.
there's a quote from Ram Dass, and then we can end. Is give up on the idea of yourself as someone going somewhere, and let the illusion collapse on itself, and there you will find like knowledge and peace and love.
Yeah.
I think he has a quote too where he's like, out beyond the ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there's a field. I'll see you there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something like that.
Maybe that's Rumi Kapoor.
Yeah, Rumi, I love Rumi Kapoor. Yeah.
It does lie in judgment and, you know, just like in Adam and Eve, you know, don't eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Don't look at yourself and say, you're evil or you're good. Just exist and enjoy, you know? You're eating of the fruit. You're staring at the snake. You know, we've been there. I mean, I've been staring at Jace's snake for the last over an hour. Holy smokes. Cheese and rice, folks. I'm getting hard myself. I'm about to rip out of these Tony Hawk shorts I bought from Target with the cargo pockets on the side. You can swim in them, folks. They're not just regular everyday shorts. They got a zipper and everything. Oh, man. I'll tell you what, folks, sometimes when I'm sitting at home alone, just staring at my kids and just screaming the F word, I think, man, I wish I had something to share with these people that would just, you know, make them enjoy life better. And what I do is I put on this podcast for my whole family. And we sit around what I've made a little radio for like a podcast thing. And I go, gather around the radio. We're going to listen to Dad's stories. And then we just, you know, my son loves doing Ben Avery bits. He goes, oh, can I do an Avery bit, Dad? I go, sure. He goes, I tried to suck my own dick, but now I'm quadriplegic. And I go, hey, that's a good one, pal. And then I put my fist slowly into his chin, you know, like they do on old movies. Go, good one, pal. You're going places. Then I kiss him on the lips. For what Mom says is too long. But I say, look, the boy needs to be comfortable with affection. I've been saying that since day one. I can't believe she pulled him off the breast. He was only 7. Well, folks, I'll tell you what. We appreciate you if you enjoy this podcast. Go to iTunes, leave us a 5-star review. Send us an email to brainjailpod@gmail.com. And come and, you know, pick me up as I'm dangling from the roof. And just hold my legs up so I can live a little bit longer. And then I can scream out the words, it was a mistake. It was all a mistake. Peace out.
A-Town.
If this gonna be that kind of party, I'm gonna stick my dick in the mashed potato. Oh God, they're gonna know I'm dumb.